Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit about Pepe because we're seeing some really interesting things going on in the chart there. Obviously, we saw a massive move up, but things right now are looking a little bit interesting, and so we're going to discuss that, kind of how things are looking there. But before we go into that, I want to take just kind of an overall look at the market today, what we're seeing here, just looking at crypto bubbles. We can see Pepe down about 0.5% today. Not really too much of a move one direction or the other, so things looking good there. What we can see though is Mana, Sand, both running really, really strongly. It looks like maybe some of the old projects from 2021 are starting to make a comeback, which is a little interesting. I know there was a lot of like speculation or guessing on kind of whether the things from the 2021 cycle would kind of make a comeback. Things from 2017. Obviously, we've seen Cardano come back. We've seen XRP come back. We're now seeing Sand and Mana come back. So really some interesting things happening. I think it's giving us a little bit clearer look on potentially how the alt market may unfold here. Also, we are seeing Say up pretty good. As I've mentioned in a couple different videos, I think kind of a rotation between Say, Sui, and Aptos is going to be, I think we'll probably see just kind of like a circular move kind of between those. We'll see how that plays out, but I think that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But looking at Pepe specifically, we're seeing some interesting things happening on the chart. So here I'm looking at the hourly, and what we can see is, is over the past several weeks, we've seen a really nice move to the upside, particularly, here between kind of like the 11th and 13th, or I guess the 13th and 14th of November. Saw some really, really strong moves up. I think this is when Pepe got listed on Robinhood, which is obviously really, really good news. What we have seen since then, though, is kind of an interesting consolidation up at this level, kind of between kind of like the 181 range and the 221 range. Now, one thing to clarify here, you'll see that this is $1.81 and 221. How Margex tracks Pepe is they actually trade in batches of 100,000. So that's why the numbers look a lot higher, is because essentially one lot equals 100,000 Pepe. So just to clarify there, but what we can see is we're sitting basically in this channel between that 181 and 221 range. Honestly, a pretty great position to be in. We really don't want to see kind of breaking this 181 range, because after that, we did see kind of a gap up here. So that means there's probably not a whole lot of liquidity in this area, meaning if we were to break past it, we'd probably be heading down probably to like the 145 range, and potentially even a little bit further down to like the 122. So the fact that we're putting, some decent support in at this kind of liquidity level here, I know I've drawn like a specific line here, but if we were to go and essentially draw like a liquidity zone, I would say probably anything in this range is kind of a liquidity zone. We can see wicks down here. We can see kind of a support being found here. You can see wicks in here, wicks here. Like this kind of whole area, I would say, is kind of like a larger liquidity zone rather than just like a specific point, as it might be indicating like with a line. Also, looking at the RSI, we are seeing, we had kind of come down just to the brink of oversold. We're now kind of moving back up, sitting at about level here. Volume doing all right. Obviously, we're kind of up higher than where we were prior to the election. Probably 2 or 3x what that was. So things are looking okay. But obviously, we saw a massive flood of volume here when we saw the listing news on Robinhood. So that's obviously a good thing to see. If you are interested in trading Pepe or anything else for that matter, Margex is a great place to do it. I do most of my trading on Margex. It's pretty nice. You can do things up to 100x leverage. I usually don't often do things that high leverage, but you can, I guess, if you want. You can see I do have this Bitcoin trade open, up almost 400% at this point. Doing pretty well overall. I mainly trade Bitcoin, but I also trade things like ICP, Jasmy, Ethereum, Solana, things like that. So overall, I think it's a really great platform. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Really like nice trading mechanics, stuff like that. So if you're interested, just feel free to use the link in the description below. You can do up to $10,000 in deposit bonuses, as well as no KYC or VPN required. So that also is really nice. Anyway, moving back to what we're seeing here on Pepe, we can see mainly like what we're looking for is we're kind of sitting in the middle of this channel. And so we're hoping to see some level of breakout here, potentially, definitely looking to hold the level of support here. What we can see is like there's a possibility that we're looking at a little bit of like maybe a wedge here. We can kind of see, it's not really like a perfect wedge, but we can see kind of something along this line. We can see, kind of lower highs coming in all through here. We do a little bit of a breakout here, but then almost immediately kind of come back into this. We are kind of pushing that right now, so we might potentially see another breakout again. Since this isn't like a super clean wedge, we might see a little bit of breakout come back in, that type of stuff. We are seeming to kind of follow a little bit of kind of a descending trend line here. If we do move this out to the daily chart, we'll also see what looks very clearly like a bull flag. So we can see a really, really strong move to the upside. And then here over the most recent couple of days, we can see just tons of wicks all over the place, right? We got wicks up to the top side, wicks to the bottom side. Things are, like I said, kind of like consolidating in this area. So overall, I mean, things looking pretty good. If we do drop out of this, like I say, though, you know, we're going to be seeing at least in kind of this range, if not maybe even coming all the way back to here. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at on Pepe today. Things looking pretty decent overall. I mean, obviously after you've seen a move this dramatic, things holding kind of up pretty decent where they are. Retracement is always kind of normal to see when you have this type of move, and so the fact that we are seeing it hold so high is really good. Almost looks like, you know, as I mentioned, it looks like we are maybe shaping up into a bull flag. So like I said, if you are interested in trading Pepe or anything else, feel free to use my Margex link in the description. Get that $10,000 bonus, and also, you know, the no KYC or VPN. Great platform overall. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, please just feel free to drop them in the comment section. I do try to read and respond to all of those. So if you have anything you want me to see, that'd be a great way to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.